Hi, this is Deepak and you are watching Simcoe Community Media. Last Wednesday, Barrie City Council presented 2023 Heritage Awards to various individuals and organizations. These awards recognize buildings of heritage value within the city. Winners are selected by members of the Heritage Barrie Committee. Any resident of Barrie can apply to join the committee. Nearly all award winners are located within the wards 1, 2, 3, and 4, areas known as Old Barrie. These awards were given in four categories: commercial, residential, individual, and group. The commercial award was given to Craig and Julie Taylor for restoring the Dutton House at 30 Mary Street. The Dutton House was built around 1874 for Robert Simpson, the first mayor of Barrie, who was also a brewer. When the Simpson bought the property in 1836, the area was known as the village of Kempenfeld. The city of Barrie came into existence in 1854. Among the residential award winners, Angela Thompson won the award for restoring and refurbishing the 145-year-old home at 96 Sunnidale Road, known as Woodlawn. In the individual category, Trudee Romanek won for her play Bobbie, which brought Barrie's sport icon Bobbie Rosenfeld to life, celebrating the female athlete's incredible accomplishments. Please refer to the links in the description for the complete list of this year's winners and more information about these properties. During the same meeting, Adrian Caravallo presented an overview of Carnival Barrie 2023, which celebrated Latin American culture at the Barrie waterfront.
And I see myself as what makes Canada great, the ability to represent two multicultures. From being chairman at the Latin American Pavilion for Carasaga Festival in Mississauga 20 years ago, I even started a Uruguayan food truck, Cha Cha Churros, empanadas, churros, stuff like that. We participated locally, Promenade Days, Kempen Fest, Boots and Hearts. We even did small community events like St. Peter's High School, Celebration of Life. But like so many, COVID hit us hard, and large gatherings took a long time to come back, and we were first forced to close.
Despite initial success, Caravallo highlighted unforeseen challenges. However, preparations for Carnival Barrie 2024 are already in motion, with the event scheduled for August 31st and September 1st this year. Caravallo sought council's support for the next year's event. Barrie's only Hispanic councillor, Sergio Morales of Ward 9, offered $5,000 help for the event from the community donation received by a developer in Ward 9. Please refer to the timestamps in the description to jump to the relevant section of the video.
There is a recognition of a recipient of the 2023 Heritage Awards. I now call Councillor Rima, Chair of the Heritage Barrie Committee, to provide a presentation concerning the recipients of the 2023 Heritage Barrie Awards. Councillor Rima.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and it's with great pleasure that we every year give out these awards to recognize buildings that have heritage value in the city, and also to recognize people and organizations that contribute to that. Now, before I we start handing out the awards, I would like to introduce to you some of the members of the committee. We have a few of them, I think, in the audience. Maybe just give a wave when I call your name. Kathy Colbatch is here. I saw her. Deborah Excel. There she is. Camille Koskowski. There. And Pauline Stevenson. There you are. All right. There are a number that could not attend tonight, so but we're all very pleased to have as many people here as we can. Councillor Kunkel and we're also on the committee, and we are very ably supported by staff, planning staff, Liam Munnick, right here. Now, just as a bit of background, the committee's mandate is to advise council on all things heritage. And we've made recommendations to council about property tax programs and properties to be listed and or designated. The committee also has a mandate that has to do with public education. And you can often find committee members at the farmers market on Saturday mornings or at open air Dunlop. And things that we're working on include the designation of a number of heritage buildings. We're working on heritage conservation districts, and just starting out on developing a history of the legal profession in the city of Barrie. And that was initiated by the Attorney General, who this summer dropped by a booth at the farmers market. We're also working on replacing the plaque for the 9 Mile Portage. And we have just finished the new walking tours for the city. And you will have at your desk a copy of that. The ink is barely dry on that one. It just came out. So, and this committee has an awful lot of work to do ahead of us. But tonight, we really want to celebrate our heritage. We're here to honor the past, celebrate the present, and inspire the future. And right now, I would like to call up Councillor Nixon to present the first two awards. Councillor Nixon.
Thank you very much, Councillor Rietma. I'm going to start by reading a declaration from Mayor Nuttall, who, as you know, cannot be here tonight. But this is being presented to Craig and Julie Taylor. This award recognizes Craig and Julie Taylor's efforts in conserving and preserving a heritage building in the city of Barrie. The home at 30 Mary Street is referred to as Dutton House and has been extensively restored. It is now home to Renegade Digital Media, Inc., a communications agency owned by Craig and Julie Taylor, who remain committed to protecting the architectural and historical significance of this building. Signed, Mayor Alex Nuttall. Please come back. I'll just put this here, unless you want to even hold both. I should mention that Councillor Rietma and I have a special spot in our heart for Heritage Awards because we're only a couple of years away from being, considered ourselves designated. One more to read. The City of Barrie Heritage Award presented to Jarrett and Sarah Johns. This award recognizes Jarrett and Sarah Johns' efforts in conserving and preserving a heritage building in the City of Barrie. The home at 123 Toronto Street is unique in Barrie as it reflects a transition away from traditional architectural styles at the turn of the 20th century. Signed, Mayor Alex Nuttall. Come on down. I don't see them in the house tonight, so rest assured we will get both of these to them as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Nixon. And now I'd like to call on Councillor Corser to give the next award and this is a building in Ward 4.
Okay, it is my absolute pleasure to present this on behalf of, I guess it was on behalf of Mayor Nuttall. That's right. For this award recognizes Angela Thompson's efforts in conserving and preserving a heritage building in the city of Barrie. The home at 96 Sunnidale Road is referred to as Woodlawn, and Angela has spent considerable human and financial resources to restore and refurbish this grand estate. It is thanks to this dedication that Woodlawn remains as magnificent as it was 145 years ago.
Just to let everybody know, my husband, Jeff, Hughes,
I hand in it to you.
he does all the work. I do the design, well, I do some of the work too, but
Thank you very
just
much.
to let you know, it's a team effort.
You just wear the white hard hat. That's right. Oh, there you go.
Thank you very much. I get to do the next award, and it is for Trudee Romanek. And this is to recognize Trudee's work in highlighting the cultural heritage of the city of Barrie. Trudee, where are you? Over here. Now, Trudee wrote the play Bobbie, and that brought Barrie's sports history to life, and it celebrated Bobbie's incredible accomplishments. And with the popularity of your play, which is quite amazing, she has single-handedly rekindled an interest in Bobbie Rosenfeld. And Bobbie Rosenfeld was an interesting person. I mean, she was an Olympic athlete, represented Canada in the 1928 Olympics, and she won gold in the 100-meter relay and won silver in the 100-meter. So,
some people say she won gold. It was a close finish.
Anyway, she was quite the character, and you did a remarkable job in bringing her to life. So congratulations to you. We really appreciate it. And now I would like to call on Councillor Kunkel to do the next two presentations.
My apologies if I have my back to some of you. As the Ward 3 councillor, to which our Legion 147 is located, and as a proud Legion member, I am very honored to be able to present the next two awards. I'm going to get straight out of hug, though.
Santa likes hugs.
Trying to stay on the good list. So in particular, Steve, if you haven't had a chance to meet Steve or be in his presence while he's sharing an enormous wealth of history, I invite you to embrace this man or visit the Legion and invite him into a conversation. You'll be all the better for it. Steve Glover is receiving this award in recognition for your work as Barrie Legion 147 Historian and Public Relations Officer. And in addition to that, your past very significant involvement promoting remembrance of our veterans, the Legion and Canadian military history, also through your work with the Grey and Simcoe Foresters Regiment Museum.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
If I may. The formalities. So again, recognizing your work as a strong advocate for promoting the remembrance of our veterans, legions, and Canadian military history. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Just a few words while I've got the audience. Do I need a mic? Some people say I don't need a mic. Okay. Again, I'm Steve Glover from the Barrie Legion. I'm the branch 147 historian and the public relations officer. And tonight I'm joined with us, our first vice president over here, Mr. Fern Taillefer, and our president, Marcel Vigneault, over here. And they'll be getting an award for the organization of the Legion very shortly from Anne-Marie. But I just wanted to indicate here that this is the 80th anniversary of the World War II battle at June 6, 1944, and we intend to celebrate that here within the city, and we're already organizing along that event. Next year, the 2025, it'll be the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe, and of course VJ Day later in August. But we intend to make sure that the city understands that, and that we bring together the population to do that. Over the course of time, the Barrie stood tall, Simcoe County stood tall. And it was a pleasure to meet Trudee tonight again, who have communicated Trudee Romanek, that I don't see, there you are, who did some research a while back on Sergeant Bob Henson, who paid the supreme sacrifice for Canada out of the Barrie Shanty Bay area in 1945. I have to mention one other thing. I saw that there was an article about a rail track being potentially used as a trolley line here in town around Jacobs Terrace. I happened to have to take my car over to, it was broken down to deal with some repairs, and so I got to walk that line, and I think it's a wonderful idea to be able to take a streetcar to get my car fixed. Way to go, Sergio. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. You can stay. And now this award goes to Barrie Legion 147 members. And on behalf of the members, if you would, Monsieur Marcel Vigneault, please join me at the front, as well as Fern Taillefer. So before I present the award, if you haven't met these amazing men of service, I would like to take a moment to more formally introduce you to some of their backgrounds. So Marcel is our president of the Legion 147, but also really well known, I believe, as chief of police in the James Bay area, and has actually given us over 30 years of service in the police force. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. And Fern Taillefer, I had to make a list here, so I'm very privileged to know Fern, and he's helped me in my growth as a member of the Legion. And Fern is our Veteran Service Officer, in addition to being our Vice President, first Vice President. He is our Parade Marshal, he is our President of the Canadian Peacekeeping Association, and he is the lead for our Poppy campaign. Thank you.
Thank you.
So formally, this award is being given in recognition of the members and their efforts in conserving and preserving both local and regional heritage. With public support through the Catch the Ace lottery, and if you haven't seen it, I think we're over $80,000 right now, so you're doing a good job. The Legion was able to obtain several display cases to house uniforms, photos, medals, and other items of those who've served. So if you have not been into your local Legion in a while, please do come in. You don't have to be a member to enter this great place. And the beautiful display cases that were constructed by local businesses across Simcoe County. In addition, I believe support from Moore's Clothing in the city of Barrie that are now displaying several different uniforms of veterans who have served. So thank you for your proud tribute to those who've served.
Merci beaucoup,
De rien.
Sorry, just say a word to me.
Okay. Marcel Shy, I'm not. First of all, thank you so much for this honor. It's a great award. A couple things I want to talk about is, first off, as the hat I wear as a Veteran Service Officer and for the Poppy Chairman. The Poppy campaign is one of the most important campaigns that the Legion has year-round. We start on the last Friday of October and we finish on the November 11th. I'm glad to say that the City of Barrie is incredible in their donations to the Poppy Fund. This year, we raised over $145,000. That's awesome. Very, very generous. And where does the money go? Well, believe me, it goes to our veterans and families in need. The money last year, I used over $120,000 to help veterans in need, including those who are homeless. That's where the money goes. We also donate to charities. So that's where the money is so important. And as a veteran service officer, the other hat, I get to help these veterans who need that help. So I can't do it without you, and all of you, and the City of Barrie. So once more, thank you so very much for your generosity. And come to the Legion. You don't have to be a veteran to come to the Legion. You can join without being a veteran. We'd love to have you there. And if you're not sure, come on in, have a look. We'll guide you around, and then hopefully we can get you to join. Thank you very much.
Just in order to finish this, I want to tell people, veteran, there's less and less veteran. But this Legion has to stay alive in order to save the purpose that Fern just talked about for the to help the veteran. And most of our action at the moment is towards the community. We want the community to come to the Legion and join. I just want to pass the message. Okay.
Deputy Mayor, if anybody ever thought that heritage was boring, clearly that isn't correct. Heritage is not only about old buildings, it's about the stories that the people that used those buildings, built those buildings, and live in those buildings, those stories that they have created. And you saw an example of that tonight, people that treasure our history here in Barrie, and we thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations to each of the Heritage Barrie Award recipients. Well deserved. I will now call to the podium Mr. Carballo for the Latin Carnival 2023 festival held downtown. Thank you for your patience, and I do apologize. You picked a great night to come to. It's riveting.
On a lighter note, hopefully. Deputy Mayor Thompson, council members and staff.
You summed it up right there. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to start by thanking you guys for the opportunity to present Carnival Barrie. My name is Adrian Carballo. I am a Latin Hispanic Canadian living here in Barrie. I am the first generation of my family in Canada. My family roots are from Uruguay, small little country between Argentina and Brazil. And I see myself as what makes Canada great, the ability to represent two multicultures. I have a confession. I have always tried to defend how Uruguay is different from other Latin communities. Stereotypes and generalities. Oh, I think I'm supposed to do this myself here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Stereotypes and generalities have blended Latino culture into the overview of similarities and highlights. Each Latin community is proud without a doubt, but as Latinos, we celebrate daily a shared representation of being Spanish or Hispanic or Latino, and the odd time we'll auto-correct ourselves and add our country of origin. I've always tried to make sure that Uruguay was represented in any of the events that would be brought to a community representing Latin culture. From being chairman at the Latin American Pavilion for Carasaga Festival in Mississauga 20 years ago, I even started a Uruguayan food truck, Cha-Cha Churros, empanadas, churros, stuff like that. We participated locally, Promenade Days, Kempen Fest, Boots and Hearts. We even did small community events like St. Peter's High School, Celebration of Life. But like so many, COVID hit us hard, and large gatherings took a long time to come back, and we were first forced to close. I think we were the only Uruguayan food truck in Canada at the time. Silver lining, though, it sparked a new idea. I've always trying to share the Uruguay and being my version of Latino. So I started to ask myself, why only Uruguay? Why not show what we share instead? Why not bring the other 99% of Latin culture in? Celebrating what we have in common and not our differences. And then the brainstorming began. I wanted an exciting experience that could create awareness, appreciation to the variety and uniqueness of each Latin culture, blend our social communities with our business communities, create a platform to share our diversity with everyone, not just Latinos, but anyone, to become a flagship event that celebrates Barrie and the gem that we did on the waterfront, a celebration that is full representation of all Latin culture through ethnic displays of music, food, and dance. Our mission is that the festival be acknowledged as a token of honor to all the sacrifices made by countless families leaving their countries in order to find better opportunity in Canada. And then Carnival Barrie was born. Once I had a plan, I engaged, you guys probably know her, Nina from the Latin Resource Center, to introduce local businesses and municipal contacts. We became true friends with a shared goal of celebrating Latin culture. When we gathered local sponsors, performances, vendors, partnered with Georgian College in order to get some volunteers together. We even had a magazine designed for the advertising opportunities. Festival was scheduled September 2nd and 3rd of 2023. Budget for the festival was floating, and this was my own personal bank account that was going to pay for this. Then July 1st came, and we had a critical tipping point. 2 months before the festival, we had only received 20% of our funding goal, and I was ready to quit. We were going to cancel the festival. I was going to give up before my family lost everything, and I asked my wife that night, who cared if I even did this festival? And I kept imagining me and my wife uprooting our 3 kids, taking them to a country that we don't know anybody, we don't speak the language, we have no job or even a place to stay, standing there with single luggage and a handful of cash, and somehow this is what my parents did for me. This image is what would get me to July 2nd, and then to July 3rd, and then it happened, people started to show up. These were the people that truly cared. We started to receive unsolicited help in droves, from volunteers to vendors, social media gurus, and even financial support followed. On that stage, when it was up, music is playing. Through the smoke of the food vendors, we look out and we can see hundreds of people dancing, laughing, and celebrating. Mayor Nuttall, Councilor Member Sergio Morales, MP John Broussard, Representative for the MP Andrea Conjan were there to witness. Our platform to share Latino culture in Barrie was real. Here's maybe an opportunity where I can just maybe get them to play a video our social media team put together for us. Does anybody drink that water? Everybody that's Latino in this country is immigrated to this country. And this is a token of honor to all the people that have come to this country to make a better life.
No
So to me, Carnival Barrie 2023 was amazing. It was beautiful. It was a perfect moment in time where the stars aligned representing Latin culture over the Barrie waterfront. We are so proud of our festival, but when the dust settled, we found that maybe it wasn't so amazing, maybe not so beautiful. I'll give you a few examples. In order to preserve our budget, we opted for private security instead of police services. We had so many people there were families driving their cars over the pedestrian bridge at the Tiffin launch. And we had security settle it all out and nothing big happened, but the opportunity that we had no fights, that we had no incidents, and we had no need for police doesn't say that potentially what if. Another story, our stage MC you saw was sharing his experience of the festival referenced by the quality of toilet paper in the porta potties. Amazing, he says. It's the best he's ever seen at any of the festivals, and he thought it was a nice touch. The truth is that Sunday afternoon, majority of the toilets had run out of toilet paper, and one of the guests complained to my mother. She was so embarrassed that she ran to our house. I live behind the Mandarin on Jane Crescent, and she stole all my Costco TP, and she stocked all the toilets. Apparently, triple ply is a pretty good upgrade. Challenges were expected, as is an inaugural event, but we had a great team, multiple hats being worn by multiple people, and utter failure was avoided by the commitment and work put in by our team. The final blow was reviewing the final balance sheets. Bottom line is I committed to spend over approximately $100,000, and when we tallied up all the revenue for the festival, I was underfunded by 50%. But when I watch the video and I see the people in it, and I see, to me, it's still amazing, to me, it's still beautiful, and we're gonna do it again, and my team wants to do it again. So Carnival Barrie 2024 is in the works. We've spoken to Events Barrie, great team you got over there. Erin and her people are awesome. We've committed to August 31st and September 1st, 2024 as our date. Social media is ramping up. Response has been overwhelming. We've been accepted by the Henry Burnick Entrepreneurship Center with Don Bourne and Chris Adams as my mentors in order to develop some systems and structure, to develop a larger management team to be able to delegate and balance workloads. We've established a strong budget and have ambitious goals for sponsors, fundraising, and vendors. We'll be returning to Will Dwyer Park for now, though our 5-year goal is to go to South Shore Center for a larger venue and be across the GO train. But last year was privately funded, the shortfall of the event. And to me, this was an investment to establish proof of concept. Proof that an event of this to celebrate all Latinos would be welcomed with open arms by the city. Even now, being able to present to council is just more proof of concept. I have been blessed and fortunate enough to be able to put my money where my mouth was last year. But this year, our focus will be fundraising as a top priority to continue the celebrations. And through a strong strategy and organized plan between equal parts generation of revenue and exchange of services in lieu of funding, we hope to reach our goals. I appreciate this opportunity to speak to council and what we are doing and are counting on your partnership. I feel this event is a requirement for the city of Barrie. I'm not sure why, but I have been given this soapbox to represent Latin culture, and I take it very seriously, and Carnival Barrie is my responsibility. We are currently looking for suggestions or introductions, alignments, creative forms of support that can be suggested by the council. Possibility could be providing appropriation of police services, coordinations through fees, potential access to city logistical assets, porta potties with 3-ply toilet paper, even ideally a sponsorship from council as preferred or an approved city event. This approval alone could be leveraged into marketing, networking, sponsorship opportunities through Barrie business community. In closing, I am very grateful for the opportunity to present the proof of what the Latin community is in the city of Barrie and why we need this. Thank you again for everything. Questions, comments? I have nowhere to go.
Mr. Carvalho, thank you so much, and thank you for your patience and waiting and stuff. We really appreciate that. But any member of council, any questions? In English.
Spanglish, you're going to get Spanglish. Gracias por venir hoy. Thanks for coming today, Adrian. The video's great, but I thought you were going to deliver a proof of concept. Like, he's going to do a couple of tents and it'll be great. Wow, it was incredible. The atmosphere is captured. There was nothing fake. They're hyped up there. And it was actually the suggestion of Mayor Nuttall to invite you because he was having so much fun and he could not believe how big and the energy, right, the passion, which is a very Latino thing, that was present there. So kudos to that. Have you connected, you said you connected with our event staff, so here's, I guess my question to you is, have you connected with a staffer who's informed you about various funding opportunities through the existing structures that we have in the city?
No.
Not yet, okay.
No.
So I'm just gonna, so maybe we'll get staff to connect Adrian with that there as well. And this is a very on the spot kind of question I'm gonna ask a staffer, Deputy Mayor Thompson, but Mr. Millar, a couple months ago, we had that $5,000 community donation by a developer in Ward 9, and it followed the proper process, which basically the check goes to you and goes into the general coffers, and then it needs council direction to be respent. Now, the developer, Honeyfield, is the developer which they don't have active applications. That's why we're allowed to do it. So I guess my question to you, Mr. Millar, is they didn't put any stipulations on the funding. They said it'd be nice if it went to a Ward 9 thing, but they understand that a city of Barrie, we might be wards, but we're all one community. So they delegated, I guess, judgment, not authority, but judgment to me to kind of decide that. With council direction, Mr. Millar, is this something that supporting, I'm not going to say an event like this, I'm going to say this event, if council gave that direction, something that would, from your process, from your perspective, be due process?
Through you, Deputy Mayor Thompson. So, first of all, I'll just remind you, Councillor Morales, since you have been around here for a while, it's Miller. It's not Millar.
I'm so sorry.
But anyway, just answer your question.
I was speaking Spanglish. That's my defense.
So if you remember that those funds were received in 2023 and they went in the operating budget. So we're just closing the books for 2023. Council will have an opportunity when the year-end report comes in April to allocate surpluses. So if there is one, you could allocate funds through that process. You could pass the motion sooner than that, but that would be the process. When we receive funds during the year, when they're operating in nature, it's better, we need that direction during the year before we close. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. Thank you, I appreciate it. And Deputy Mayor Thompson, quickly, we attended an open house that Honeyfield threw for those new residents moving there. One of the things that stood out to me was the new communities coming to Barrie. Some were Latino, some were not. Some were existing Barrie that just wanted to buy a newer home. And it was almost like a very diverse neighborhood of people that are about to move in, and I think it would be on theme and really kind of cool to have that kind of, that's the source of the money, and that was the sentiment towards that open house, and then having that support further multiculturalism and bringing people out who wouldn't otherwise experience these kind of events. Anyways, we will go through that process. Thank you for the presentation, Adrian. Thank you for your time. And I'll make the joke. It's probably not the first time you've had a Latino hold you up for 3 hours talking and asking all the questions I asked earlier. So thank you very much for your patience and showing us the great initiative that you put forward.
With that, thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. With that, Councillor Harris. We'll do inquiries. Any inquiries of staff? Any announcements? Nope. Councillor Congo.
Thank you. I do have two. One is to start off with, we have an opportunity to currently choose the City of Barrie bird. So the polls are open on buildingbarrie.ca. I know Deputy Mayor Thompson, I think, loves the nuthatch, but there are 7 different birds that have been identified. We are seeing an amazing response at this point in time, so please do go in, take a look at the 7 birds, vote for your favorite. Voting is open until March the 31st. This really has to do with Barrie being certified back in 2022 as a bird-friendly city, the 15th in Canada Part of that consideration is also continuing to do some work tied to keeping that certification and criteria with Nature Canada. So I do want to really thank the 11 members of the City of Barrie bird team that brought this forward and shortlisted those birds. And we look forward to announcing that publicly on May the 14th, which is World Migratory Bird Day. Please take a look at information there. I won't take up time tonight, but to understand why it's important to be doing this work, while this is a fun engagement education opportunity, there's lots of information behind what our municipality is doing and what groups like Nature Barrie, Living Green, Pollinate Barrie, our Barrie Public Library are doing around supporting our migratory birds and bird species. Secondly, very quick congratulations. We had a lot of Barrie curlers actually competing this past weekend, and would like just to do a shout out. We actually had our Barrie Special Olympics curling team won bronze at the National Games in Calgary, so huge congratulations. In addition to that, we had a number of Barrie curlers at different competitions. One included the Team Johnson, the U21 Women's Provincial Championship, and we had 2 Barrie curling teams in the elementary championships hosted by Stroud. Thank you to Stroud. And that was Team Kinnear and Team Paradis. So congratulations to all curlers, but again, lovely to see Barrie athletes representing us both within Ontario and within a national system.
Thank you, Councillor Kungol. Councillor Corser.
I have a couple of announcements to make. First off, I would like to, it's been a long night. First announcement, I am very, very excited to announce that we now currently have a year-round accessible heated washroom at Sunnidale Park with actual warm running water. I'd like to thank, it was, as I discussed with staff, it should have been easy, but it certainly wasn't, and staff put in a ton of work to make this happen. First, I would like to thank Ms. Excuse me, Ms. McAlpine, first off, for all of her hard work, and facilities, Rick Pugh, and Recreation and Culture, Dan Bell. And for other team members, I hope I don't butcher anyone's name too poorly, Paulo Bavalani, Jason DeVroom, Joel Giles, Devin Newhouse, Paul McCarran, Rise Kareem, and Gus Dementopoulos. And I'd like to thank all of them for all their hard work, and they get major credit from me. I'm so happy about that, and residents are very happy to have those washrooms as well. Yes, unfortunately, I don't know if it's 3-ply. I have not confirmed. We'll have to direct that question to staff next time. And I'm getting a hard no. And my second announcement is this Friday, I'm very, very proud that we'll be having International Women's Day this Friday. This year's theme is Inspire Inclusion. And you can join us. Everyone is welcome. It's a free event, of course, to celebrate women in our community. You can join us at City Hall at 4:30 p.m. for a Women's Day flag raising. Afterwards, we'll have some speeches by local women, powerful women in our community, and our dignitaries. And then it'll be followed up with an equity march for women through downtown Barrie, and everyone's invited to bring their flags and to celebrate the incredible women we have in our community and internationally. So that is this Friday, starting at 4:30 at the courtyard in front of City Hall. And those are my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Corser. Councillor Harris.
Yeah, I'll be really quick, Deputy Thomas. Just wanted to recognize a really wonderful event that happened last Friday. Hockey Helps the Homeless raised over $152,000 for the Redwood Park Communities and Busby Street Center. And I want to recognize Shay Thurlow. Shay himself raised $23,909.75. And Shay's been the leading donation getter for several years. Absolutely incredible. So This is year 9 for Hockey Helps Homeless. They've now raised well over $1 million. I just want to give a thank you to the new chair, Corey Johnson, who's taken over from Dave McCullough, who's nurtured this from its beginnings, and obviously Barrie Hockey Hall of Fame member Mike Gartner, who gives his time to this every year and gets the pros to make the event special for all those who attended. So thank you, City of Barrie citizens, for the generous donations, and I'm sure Redwood Park Communities and Busby Street Center will put those monies to good use. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Harris. Any other announcements? I have a whack of them, but you're getting 2. The City of Recreation and Culture Service Team has planned several programs, rentals, special events, and March break camps for the month of March. For information, visit barrie.ca/community recreation and environment. Just a reminder, I know the weather outside you wouldn't believe, but on-street parking is still restricted. 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. in the BIA and 12:01 to 7 a.m. on every other street. I know that's probably upsetting, but it's just the way it is. So, Councillor Harris, the bylaws, please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Thompson. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Harvey, that leave be granted to introduce the following bill in the bill. This bill be read a first, second, and third time this day and finally passed, Bill 019.
Moved by Councillor Harris, second by Councillor Harvey. Leave be granted to introduce the following bill, and this bill be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed, Bill 19. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carries. Councillor Harris.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Harvey. Confirmation bylaw that leave be granted to introduce the following bill, and this bill be read a first, second, and third time this day and finally passed, Bill 020.
Moved by Councillor Harris, second by Councillor Harvey. Leave be granted to introduce the following bill, and this bill be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed, Bill 20, the confirmation bylaw. All in favor? Carries.
That was the update from the March 6th City Council meeting. Keep tuning in for more news. Thank you.